Hello, this is the Radio Geek, and today for you I have the Retekess TR614 FM medium wave shortwave, a 3-band radio. In full disclosure, I have to say that Retekess contacted me and asked me if I'd be interested in reviewing a radio, and I said, well, I'm kind of interested in this radio. Can I review this one? They said sure. They sent it out to me, and I told them I would review it. So they sent it to me free of charge for my consideration. Now this radio is kind of an interesting one in that it has kind of a retro style to it. You can see that it has this little speaker logo here, and it says FM medium wave shortwave 3-band TR614 Retekess up here. And the band select switch is right here with your FM, medium wave, also known as AM, and shortwave. It has that retro dial to it. It's kind of a light brown beige color. It's got a frequency range of 88 megahertz to 108 for the FM, 8 megahertz to 18 megahertz for shortwave, and 530 to 1600 for the medium wave or AM band. Up here at the top we have the tuning knob, which is kind of in an interesting spot up here in the top rather than in one of the sides. It has a telescoping antenna for shortwave and FM reception. On this side of the radio we have the volume on-off switch, headphone jack. This is a battery LED light. When you plug in a 5-volt charger, it will light up that light when it's charging. And they do include the charging cable with it as well. And you might be asking, well, what kind of a battery does it use for recharging? And here on the back cover you can see it's an 18650 cell, and it's a 1200 milliamp hour battery that is included with the radio as well. I like that it has a battery door that is captive. You can't lose it that way, so that's nice there, that you can keep the battery in there. It's got a nice kind of fake wood grain look to it, so it really looks like something out of the 80s. It has a wrist strap, which is kind of a leatherish kind of a band. This radio is kind of, I would think, maybe it's just me, that's kind of on the big side to have a wrist strap, but it's more of a, oh, I don't know, you could sit on your table, I suppose, but I guess you could put the wrist strap on and carry that around with you as well. I really like the retro style. It has a 3-band radio logo here, and says tune right there. The one thing about it that's different, I guess, and I've seen this on other Chinese radios, is when you turn the dial, when I turn it to the right, like counterclockwise, the dial goes this way, and when I turn it that way, it goes that way. So it's I don't know, it's all on how you look at it, I guess. I guess for whatever reason in my mind I was anticipating it going the other way, but I don't know, it just seems like if you're turning it this way it should go this way, but I guess it's all in perspective, right? Anyway, let's see what we can find here. We'll see what we can find on FM. We'll just do a quick band scan for the FM here. The shortwave band is kind of more of a daytime shortwave band. It goes from 8 to 18 megahertz, which typically those frequencies are better in the daytime, but we'll concentrate on FM for right now. We won't linger too long because there's lots of music on FM.
to nowhere.
There's not a lot of suspense there for me. The Bible says that's the way it ought to be for Christians. It ought to be that we are so confident.
There's a pretty nice sound
if
to
we're
it.
in the tournament, we win.
Lots
now,
of volume.
I'd watch it with a little more interest if I knew that I was the one getting
The mother of Mark has suggested.
John, the tomb is empty.
It's really so simple.
Believe in the glorious self.
Wanna fight? I swear that I was trying.
He was paying too much for bad service.
It's time to switch.
He called USAA right away. Our agents took the time to understand his needs, put in the work to get him
does
the
have a
right
pretty nice
coverage,
tone to
and
it.
even found him some serious savings. USAA Insurance is made.
Want you up and then go. Too old to try, so whatever.
961.
Welcome on back. 1-800 Call Sam Studio. First.
Get back because Tennessee, by all accounts,
Until they introduce Brad Holmes again. Next up,
customersnow.com.
And now more Straight Talk from Straight Talk. The big wireless companies say they're the only way to get the best coverage.
Because they've got like a gajillion cell towers?
Something like that. But Straight Talk.
Yeah, it does have a really nice sound to it.
So you get the same great networks for up to 50% less.
It's a DSP receiver. You can kind of tell by the way it sounds when you tune it.
And she was greeted with everything from, rejection to hilarity. People laughed in her face when they found out what she was really after.
And it was fascinating. At least one response that you quoted. I'm interested in you and what you can do for us, and that's horrifying. We need to be interested in one another.
This fear that male doctors had, if we let them in, we won't have any female patients anymore.
Buyers that purchase low-quality used cars.
I'm shared.
the more cell technical. And yeah, there is one on market.
Podcasts in the country right now? It's called Las Culturistas. Just named the #1 comedy podcast of the year, and it's no surprise.
So this is the FM band. And you can see we picked up quite a few stations, and I've played with it a little bit, and it does perform pretty good. I mean, it picks up quite a few stations for the FM band, so we'll give the AM band a try here. I don't know how noisy the environment I'm in right now will be, so we'll just see what it does. This is the AM band.
Rivalries with Russia and especially China. It poses the most significant challenge of any nation state to the United States.
Law enforcement officials warn of yet another possible threat for tomorrow's inauguration. Here's CBS.
Sources tell CBS News that a recent joint threat assessment from FBI, DHS, and U.S. Secret Service said drones are one of the techniques that could be used by domestic violent extremists to try to disrupt the inauguration.
CBS News Brief.
WSM.
The corner, under the basket, floor up, the right-handed Waddle's phone bus, don't touch by Kobe Elvis. Yeah, players come in, you can finish it and make that shot again, and it makes it a lot better play.
That might be 670 the score. Might be WLW maybe? Or it could be WBBM maybe. It's really hard to tell an analog dog exactly where you are.
Weather the way he does, and he does it without any hyper fanfare. It's always spot on.
Depends on Kirk Mellish and 95.5 WSB.
Alex Williams is in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
WSB.
Setting up on the south side, 75 southbound at I-675. Couple of right lanes are blocked there. And now two left lanes getting blocked, 75 and northbound, approaching Forest Parkway, exit 237. This report brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Kirk Mellish with the most accurate and dependable forecast tonight. Mostly cloudy, lows 38 to 41. Tomorrow, a mix of clouds and sunshine, high near 55. Thursday, a 50% chance of
55, that'd be nice.
55. On Friday, cloudy, showers 60% likely, high 54. Lows 31 to 35.
51 degrees on Peachtree Street at 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Nice.
John Hannity on 95.5 WSB, sponsored by Renters Warehouse.
2115, what's your question?
Is it true
Is what true?
that there are no humans in your stores?
Yes, our showrooms are run by aliens from the planet
You can hear it kind of latching on and letting go.
There's a new member of Congress. I hope not.
So what is the truth?
The truth is, there could be all these fine, happy humans trying out beauty rest and Sealy Posturepedic mattresses without any commission-crazed employees breathing down their necks.
Is it true your prices are
Go ahead, say it.
out of this world?
You bet. Get Queen Maple Link among the worst.
I'm just kind of rocking back and forth and seeing if I can get it to lock. It picks them up. It just you gotta be patient and turn slowly and move back and forth to get it to capture.
Coaches always want more practice. And so we would say, the righteous left, and the neo-Nazis, and the Republican Party, all holding hands, joining with one another.
National anthem from here in Champaign. Now we'll get ready for the introduction of the visitors from State College, the Penn State Indy Lions.
This was code that is seen in the modern history of our country, because this was initiated.
Regardless of the job size. Let our family move your family. Hurley Moving, loyal and proud alumni of Miami University. And you can reach them at hurleymoving.com. That's HERLEY moving.com. And that's for James, class of 1993. We'll be back with more after a break for our local stations. From Van Wagner, this is the Miami Sports. I'm Alfie Baldwin. Listen to my podcast. Here's the thing about Miami Radio.
Right, doesn't know if it wants to control the gain and slam it back down or amplify it. Yeah.
Scully, just one last thing for you. I hear your parents don't know about your good deed.
No, it's kind of a weird situation. My dad and I grew up listening to your show, as it happens, and I remember it. I'm 51
It might be a
years old.
AM 1000 in Chicago.
In the living room and listening.
Maybe they'll call back in again, because we had a number of calls about it, and it was that you wouldn't get the right dosage, and it would be much better, and you'd get the full effect if it came from a single shot syringe. So I think that's what it was, but to clarify it, hopefully somebody who is a whole lot smarter than me, especially somebody in healthcare, will phone in with that. Look, I must tell you, they're going to have to waive a lot of that stuff, the filling out of papers and all that. Listen, nobody really has time for any of this.
and Newt Gingrich in 94. So those were...
1-877-535-5550. Pico is ready for severe weather. We prepare and test systems year-round, so you'll have the safe, reliable electric and natural gas service you need. And if you do lose power, our team is ready to restore your service as safely and quickly as possible. Safety is always Pico's top priority, and it can be yours too. Make sure you and your family are ready for storms and potential outages by visiting pico.com/storm to get more information about how you can prepare for severe weather before it happens. This is important information from Spectre Law Group, Philadelphia's most trusted immigration lawyers. Do you or your loved ones want to fix your immigration status, but don't
Almost sounded like single sideband coming through there.
But even the Dodgers took 10 years to finally get the job done. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, and so, yeah, it's
economy that we built without the foundations and footings along this line. This was the first time that he would have addressed himself to it with the
It does pick up quite a few stations, but that DSP really struggles sometimes with deciding whether or not it's going to latch in or not.
Where would he have been drafted, if at all? That's the question. That's what you have to balance. Is the second free throw is wrong.
We're here for it all, and always will be. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan.
So I just leave it there. You can hear it kind of grabbing it and letting it go. I guess it could have been a little off frequency too. Seems to be more stable there.
Or just a few blocks to the grocery store. Marathon has the fuel to keep your engine running at peak performance. Because you never know where life's going to take you.
When you listen with the heart, what you're doing is you really...
Cincinnati Sports Station, ESPN 1530.
At the University of Kentucky, there are no bounds to our
1530. Kentucky. Something around 1600. So yeah, AM's not too bad. It picks up quite a few stations. It's just when it's a weak station and it kind of tries to latch on it and it kind of lets it go and grabs it again, and you kind of have to rock that tuning knob back and forth to kind of get where you want to be. But I think that's kind of typical of a lot of the DSP radios of today. Not like the old analog style, that's for sure. But anyway, I think it does okay on AM. It does a decent job. But yeah. So anyway, that's the AM band. Shortwave, I try it. We might get something down here in the lower part of the band. but these other bands are typically better in the daytime. Might get some things on there. I would say probably this is a good AM/FM radio, and maybe shortwave is kind of like just a bonus. But we'll see what we get when we switch over to shortwave here. I do also forgot to mention that it has a little LED that lights up based upon what band you have selected. So that's kind of a neat feature. I do like that. Some of those just have a piece of plastic that slide, behind a little window, and those are fine. But this is kind of a nice indicator with the LED. I do wish that this radio, with its retro style, had another little button or something that you could push and hold, and have a little dial light. I think that would be really cool if this had a dial light. That would really give it the retro style. This does not have any kind of a dial light, unfortunately. Also, forgot to mention that in the center here of the dial is a little round circle, and it's kind of like a little magnification lens. And as you tune right where the shortwave is, you can kind of see where you are a little better. It kind of magnifies it. So that's kind of an interesting thing that they did there as well. So let me turn up the volume here on the shortwave and see if we can pick anything up. Got something. Looks like we might be in the 9-ish megahertz range there. Some kind of a music program. Let's see what else we can find. There's something fairly weak. Kind of rock back and forth. Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Okay, now we're at a little over 10 megahertz now. I don't know how accurate the dial is either, so I would have thought around 10 megahertz we would have got the time station, WWV. Looks like we're just above it, just above 10 megahertz. Let me try going around and see if I can hear anything for the time station. No.
In charge of the U.S. Agency for International Development, or USAID, is thrown on.
It is about 8:30 p.m. Eastern here, so maybe it's not good for 10 megahertz right now for the time station. Maybe something here. Now I'm around 11, maybe a little less than 11 megahertz. It's a little hard to tell on the analog dial. I suspect we probably won't get much of anything beyond this, given the time of day it is here. Around 14 megahertz here. I'm going to have to move a little faster and see if I pick anything up, but I don't think we're going to get anything up in here. Probably better luck on these frequencies in the daytime. Yeah, So that's the shortwave band. I guess I really like the retro style of this radio. I think it's pretty neat looking radio. It feels, pretty solidly built. I wasn't sure I was going to like that tuning dial on the top like that, but after using it for a while, it's pretty easy to get used to. I still think that it is, in my mind anyway, kind of backwards the way it turns, but that's just something to get used to. I really enjoy the retro style here, the kind of the beige, antique looking dial face. The little speaker icon down here, the little badge, that's kind of cool. I remember like in the 80s, all the radios had like ones like this, but it would say IC for integrated circuit. That was the big thing, and an IC in it. And almost everything had that on there. But this has got like a little speaker on it, which has kind of got that retro vibe going for it. The leather strap is nice. It's well marked, well labeled. This is white writing on the side, which is easier to read than if they would have used black or something on this wood. And it's nice that it has the rechargeable 18650 cell. That's kind of nice. Although it would have been nice if you would have had a choice, like some of the radios that I've seen, they have a battery compartment, and you can either have say an 18650 cell or another compartment where you could have 3 AA's or something, where you could run off of AA's if you wanted to, because those are readily available anywhere. But you can recharge it, and so that's not really that big of a deal, but it would be kind of nice to maybe have seen that as an extra feature. So all in all, I'd say it's a pretty nice radio. It works pretty well. It's fairly solidly built. It's got a really nice look to it. It's the main reason that I was kind of interested in this particular radio was just the retro look. I thought that was really neat, and it says a neat radio. It's got the nice darker colored plastic here with the wood grain and the gold knob there. That's kind of cool. So yeah, if you're looking for something that you want to listen to and you got like a little retro and nostalgic look to it, I'd say this is a good radio to get. And it's available on eBay. I'll leave the link down there where you can get yours if you decide to get one. I think currently the price of this radio is around $30-ish, 30, 32, something like that. Right around in there is how much this radio is, and I'm sure the price fluctuates from time to time. But all in all, I'd say it's a nice radio, and it's cool looking. I do like it. I like the looks of it. So until next time, this is the Radio Geek.